It is time to revive the not well-known philosophical notion of doxastic commitment, a class of beliefs that go beyond talk, and to which we are committed enough to take personal risks. If you see something. Modernity has replaced ethics with legalese, and the law can be gamed with a good lawyer. So I will expose the transfer of fragility, or rather the theft of antifragility, by people arbitraging the system. These people will be named by name. Poets and painters are free, liberi poeti et pictores, and there are severe moral imperatives that come with such freedom. First ethical rule: if you see fraud and do not say fraud, you are a fraud. Just as being nice to the arrogant is no better than being arrogant toward the nice, being accommodating toward anyone committing a nefarious action condones it. Further, many writers and scholars speak in private, say, after half a bottle of wine, differently from the way they do in print. Their writing is certifiably fake. And many of the problems of society come from the argument, other people are doing it. So if I call someone a dangerous, ethically challenged fragilista in private after the third glass of Lebanese wine, white, I will be obligated to do so here. Calling people and institutions fraudulent in print when they are not yet called so by others carries a cost, but it is too small to be a deterrent. After the mathematical scientist Benoit Mandelbrot read The Galleys of the Black Swan, a book dedicated to him, he called me and quietly said, "In what language should I say good luck to you?" I did not need any luck, it turned out. I was anti-fragile to all manner of attacks. The more attacks I got from the Central Fragilista delegation, the more my message spread as it drove people to examine my arguments. I am now ashamed of not having gone further in calling a spade a spade. Compromising is condoning. The only modern dictum I follow is one by George Santayana. A man is morally free when he judges the world and judges other men with uncompromising sincerity. This is not just an aim, but an obligation. Defossilizing things. Second ethical point. I am obligated to submit myself to the scientific process simply because I require it from others, but no more than that. When I read empirical claims in medicine or other sciences, I like these claims to go through the peer review mechanism, a fact-checking of sorts, an examination of the rigor of the approach. Logical statements, or those backed by mathematical reasoning, on the other hand, do not require such a mechanism. They can and must stand on their own legs. So I published technical footnotes for these books and specialized in academic outlets, and nothing more, and limit them to statements that require proofs or more elaborate technical arguments. But for the sake of authenticity and to avoid careerism, the debasing of knowledge by turning it into a competitive sport, I banned myself from publishing anything outside of these footnotes. After more than 20 years as a transactional trader and businessman in what I called the strange profession, I tried what one calls an academic career. And I have something to report. Actually, that was the driver behind this idea of anti-fragility in life, and the dichotomy between the natural and the alienation of the unnatural. Commerce is fun, thrilling, lively, and natural. Academia, as currently professionalized, is none of these. And for those who think that academia is quieter and an emotionally relaxing transition after the volatile and risk-taking business life, a surprise. When in action, new problems and scares emerge every day to displace and eliminate the previous day's headaches, resentments, and conflicts. A nail displaces another nail with astonishing variety. But academics, particularly in social science, seem to distrust each other. They live in petty obsessions, envy, and icy-cold hatreds, with small snubs developing into grudges, fossilized over time in the loneliness of the transaction with a computer screen and the immutability of their environment. Not to mention a level of envy I have almost never seen in business. My experience is that money and transactions purify relations. Ideas and abstract matters like recognition and credit warp them, creating an atmosphere of perpetual rivalry. I grew to find people greedy for credentials nauseating, repulsive, and untrustworthy. Commerce, business, Levantine souks, though not large-scale markets and corporations, are activities and places that bring out the best in people, making most of them forgiving, honest, loving, trusting, and open-minded. As a member of the Christian minority in the Near East, I can vouch that commerce, particularly small commerce, is the door to tolerance, the only door, in my opinion, to any form of tolerance. It beats rationalizations and lectures. Like antifragile tinkering, mistakes are small and rapidly forgotten. I want to be happy to be human and be in an environment in which other people are in love with their fate, and never, until my brush with academia, did I think that that environment was a certain form of commerce combined with solitary scholarship. The biologist, writer, and libertarian economist Matt Ridley made me feel that it was truly the Phoenician trader in me, or more exactly the Canaanite, that was the intellectual. Once again, please, no, it is not resilience. I am used to facing, at the end of a conference lecture, the question, so what is the difference between robust and antifragile? Or the more unenlightened and even more irritating, antifragile is resilient, no? The reaction to my answer is usually, with the look, why didn't you say that before? Of course I had said that before. Even the initial referee of the scientific article I wrote on defining and detecting antifragility entirely missed the point, conflating antifragility and robustness, and that was the scientist who pored over my definitions. It is worth re-explaining the following. The robust or resilient is neither harmed nor helped by volatility and disorder, while the anti-fragile benefits from them. But it takes some effort for the concept to sink in. A lot of things people call robust or resilient are just robust or resilient. The other half are anti-fragile.